Hey, something special for tonight's concert. This 12-string guitar, it is just something special. It's called the Emperador. And I don't know that I've ever seen another. I had to have it when I saw it in Schoolhouse Music. It's got this very strange piece of wood right there with some inlay. I don't know, just something weird, caught my eye. Bought it about 2 years ago. Rumor has it Bruce Barr either owned it or had something to do with it, ended up in Schoolhouse Music. I don't know the whole story. Had a request for this one. It's called Black Bear. Of all of God's good creatures that in these woods do sail, there's nothing like a black bear that does my soul so well. Not the color of the or the speed of the deer. When it comes to a black bear, you know God is near. Oh, once upon a strip mine upriver to the west, dodging through the pines and the winds on the crest. Only for a moment that bear I did see, and I froze like a statue as it towered over me. Oh, the rush of the grouse or the rattle of the snake, neither comes close to a pulse a bear creates. A heart will beat backwards and thoughts freeze your face, but it's not out of fear, but just knowing your place. Oh, this was just a tale, believe it if you wish. If you're searching for perfection, a bear could be it. For God is in the forest, I've seen it with my eyes. God in the forest, upon the ridge on high. Man, this thing sounds like an organ. I'm going to play another request I had. This goes out to my buddy Ethan Spalding. He asked for the Cowboy and the Hippy. Has not been played in a while. So that needs to be tuned a little bit. I've not recorded with this 12-string yet. Any songs I recorded with on 12-string were, I believe it was a Yamaha that I had for years, that I loved the sound of it. And I gave it away to my brother Ollie for one of his birthdays, and he's playing it down in Georgia. And I had this cocky attitude of, no big deal, I'll find another, Yamaha or something that sounds good, it'll come along. And I have not found something in my price range. I'm an under $200 kind of a guitar shopper. And I have not found something with the sound I'm looking for. So this has an interesting sound, but it's not as loud as a 12-string usually is. And I don't know if you can tell that on a microphone, but out at a live performance is where I can really tell this thing just doesn't have the volume. But it sure is pretty to look at. Now the cowboy and the hippie are sitting talking of life. And the cowboy looks up to catch the sun sink into the night. He says, that's how it goes, man, you're up and then you're down for a while. And the hippie looks up from his drink and agrees with a smile. Yeah, it's fountains of dreams and puddles of luck, how they stumble through life and never get stuck. Just a cowboy and a hippie, too scared to wake up. All they ask of tomorrow is to see the sun come up. Now the hippie keeps talking about a band that he's trying to find, a bunch of good guys who can all keep steady time. He says, I hear this music in my head every time I sleep, and it's just a matter of time before that band finds me. Yeah, it's fountains of dreams, puddles of luck, how they stumble through life and never get stuck. Just a cowboy and a hippie, too scared to wake up. All they ask of tomorrow is to see the sun come up. So the night has set in, and the place is ready to close. And they gather their things, and they head outside by the road. The cowboy tips his hat, and the hippie, he just smiles a goodbye. And then both of their eyes are caught by a diesel streaming by. Yeah, it's fountains of dreams, puddles of luck, how they stumble through life and never get stuck. Just a cowboy and a hippie, too scared to wake up. All they ask of tomorrow is to see the sun come up. All they ask of tomorrow is to see the sun come up. Oh, I never did that on a 12-string. That's pretty cool. Just realized that this is the 20th anniversary year of releasing my album Flat Bottom Town. And even though I wrote that song in 1998, I must not have recorded it and gotten it on a CD until Flat Bottom Town, because that's on Flat Bottom Town. And thanks for asking for that one, Ethan. Here's a song I love playing on the 12-string. I originally recorded it on that Yamaha I was talking about, on the 12-string. It's called Mountain Lion, and it delves into that amazing subject here in Pennsylvania of are they here or are they not here? You're going to find a lot of folks with stories. You'll even find some folks that swear they've seen them themselves. And, officially they say the last cat was killed in Pennsylvania. I think there's a typo in the song. In the song I recorded 1890s. It was actually the 1870s. So forgive me for that. Don't get your history from a folk singer. Get interested from the folk singer, but read books. How about that? So anyways, the 1870s, and it was in Berks County, which is amazing. And this year at the farm show, they actually had that cat, the last confirmed Pennsylvania mountain lion killed in the 1870s, on display in a glass display case at the Pennsylvania, I think it was the Museum Commission's booth. So if you saw the dugout canoe, they had that there, and then they had this beautiful specimen, really big specimen. I remember as a Penn Stater, if you used to go in the Petit Library, there was a mount of a cat, Pennsylvania mountain lion that had been killed locally, I think on Mount Nittany, on Nittany Mountain, and wasn't the greatest taxidermy job, but I used to think that was really wild to go in and see that, a Pennsylvania specimen. But it was pretty small compared to this thing that they had killed in Berks County, and this was a big one. So if you have your own mountain lion stories and you're brave enough, you can add them to the comment list or comment box below. And another reminder, by the way, all these concerts, there's a tip jar linked in the video description, so please, if you can continue the generosity, it sure is appreciated in this time where all my live concerts are being canceled. And so, I still love playing, and if you're willing to tip a little bit, and it feels regular both ways. You feel like you're at a concert and you're throwing money in a tip jar like you would, and I feel like I'm still connected with folks. Every time I see that, even though it's digital, when I get a notification, it tells me your name, by the way. It gives me your name and your email, who put the money in the tip jar, and I get to send you a message back thanking you. So I do like that connection, knowing who's listening. Here it is, Mountain Lion. time of the Mingwa and the Andastes, there were wolves, there were bears in the rocks and trees. It was just the way things were in this land. But the thing that put fear in the hearts of men was the scream of the cat, wrote William Penn as he slept in the wilderness as a young man. Call them panthers, call them catamount, mountain lion have all been hunted out, but stories stay to this day. Mountain lion were never gone, some say. Officials say that our last was killed in the 1870s, Berks County hills. Always struck me, they ended so far south. I would think that a place like our northern tier, where the forest goes for miles, a true frontier, might provide refuge for cougars still around. Call them panthers, call them catamount, mountain lion have all been hunted out, but stories stay to this day. Mountain lion were never gone, some say. Well, I've met folks who swear they're here, they've seen their tracks or a hanging deer stashed up in the trees like the cats of Africa. Or people who with their very own eyes have seen the long tail or heard the cries. Don't try to tell them the cougar's gone from Pennsylvania. Call them panthers, call them catamount, mountain lion have all been hunted out, but stories stay to this day. Mountain lion were never gone, some say. Woo! Spooky! I had a request for a song by Mr. Guy Clark. Been singing this one since I was a teenager. It's called Homegrown Tomatoes. Ain't nothing in life that I like better, bacon and lettuce and homegrown tomato. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you a ripe one, but don't get a hard one. You can plant them in the spring and eat them in the summer. All winter without them is a culinary bummer. I forget all about the sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a biggin. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Now you can go out to eat and that's for sure. But there's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put them in a salad, put them in a stew. You can make your very own tomato juice. Now you can eat them with eggs, you can eat them with gravy. Eat them with beans, pinto or navy. Put them on the side, put them in the middle. Have a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Well, if I was to change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. I know what this country needs, homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. So when I die, don't bury me in a box, no cemetery, but out in the garden would be much better. I'd be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things money can't buy, that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Ain't it the truth? Hey, blast from the past for me. I've not done that in a long time. Well, I'm going to close with a song that seemed kind of fitting for all of us right now. This is called Recluse, and I wrote it when, by choice, I was spending a lot of time out in the woods and alone, and things have changed a little, and I'm still spending a lot of time alone and out in the woods, but it's a little bit eerie how everybody's trying to recluse right now. Saw my first non-family member human today for the first time in 5 days? Yeah. He was asking me what I was doing on his land and was I carrying a gun. I said, I'm just trying to pass through and get home, and no I don't. And it got friendlier from there. It was okay, but it was just good to see a human. Went for a 10-mile hike from my house over Montour Ridge to the Susquehanna River, crossed Route 11, and then headed towards Devil's Feather Bed and went up Montour Ridge through the game lands, came back. It was absolutely a great hike day, But I was reclusing for sure. So I'll close with this song. Thanks for listening to all these concerts, and holy cow, that song I wrote for Larry Gipple the other day, how that exploded is just incredible. Thing has over like 10,000 views. That's awesome. I knew people loved Larry. But had I realized that many people were going to listen to it, I might have taken the recording a little bit more seriously. That was the night I wrote it. So I turned the camera on, sang it just to be like, just to hear what it sounds like so I could get an idea. And then I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll post this and maybe people will enjoy it. So, and I did hear, Larry got to hear it, and he was touched and appreciated that I had written a song for him. So thanks for making that possible. Keep the requests coming. One last reminder, there's a tip jar, and if you can, support all the live musicians that are out of work right now. All my friends, I'm thinking of Frank Wicker, KJ, Hannah Bingman, Jay Smar, Tom Flannery. The list goes on and on. There's so many folks whose gigs have kind of dried up, and they're all trying to do the same thing here. We're doing some live concerts now and then in front of a camera, and there's a tip jar. So if you're in the position where you can help us out, please do. In fact, if you were going to give me tip money tonight, save it and go see one of their concerts and give it to them. I'm lucky to have a teaching job. Recluse on the 12-string guitar. Never tried it before. It's hard to be present. It's hard to be sane. You put yourself out there again and again. The energy's low, anxiety high. Too many people, too many times. I can bring myself back from the edge. Refuel my spirit, clear out my head. It is all that saves me in the chaos of life. I get it together, and then I get it all right. I recluse. Back to the woods, back to the roots. I'll follow the lead of the brown recluse. The working stiff, the work working poor, take it all day and then come back for more. No word of thank you, no word of please. Get what you can, take it and leave. I know there's more to it, I know there is good. See it in people, I know that I should, but I find it exhausting living most days. I'm lonely in crowds and I'm nervous on stage. I recluse, I recluse. Oh, back to the woods, back to the roots. I follow the lead of the brown recluse. Christ went to the mountains to pray and to think, and this is the reason that I follow him. Ah, but then he served people, both strangers and friends. This is the part that I struggle with. People need people, people just need. I need the mountains alone with the trees. I will come back better, a stronger man, and then when I need it, I'll recluse again. I recluse, I recluse. Ah, back to the woods, back to the roots. I follow the lead of the brown recluse. Keep the requests coming. Thank you.